part one of painting done. Pretty boring, but really easy. Just typical, roll-on black paint. Did some spray paint in the corners to cover the corner brackets. Just went around the entire outside and the edges with a small black roller. And so step one on paint, good to go. It's coming together. A couple things I wanted to point out that I didn't mention. So I drilled these holes with a hole saw right dead center in the shadow box in the middle of my overflows, because I'm actually going to be running two drain lines, a full siphon and an open drain in each overflow, and then my plumbing is going to run up the back. So I've notched out these holes on the top and bottom of the shadow box that will line up with my plumbing when I do my return lines, and then those will go be like a like a 3/4 inch elbow, threaded elbow that these lock lines will screw into, and then they will, I'll set them up so they sit on either side of the overflow. However I need to structure that, they'll sit and output water on either side of the overflow. So I didn't mention that in the last one because basically my plumbing is going to be running. It'll nicely hold that plumbing in place too, and then it probably will have some brackets underneath that hold that return assembly in place. The other thing I didn't mention, what I did, is the way that this is mounted. So this shadow box has these L brackets that are just, you can't see them from here, but they mount this way to the edge. And then all I did was take, I drilled a small hole in the plastic rim of the aquarium and then just screwed in some screws. I had to bevel out or screw out the hole there in the L bracket to accommodate this, but these just slip over the screws and are held, the whole box is held in place. It's not very heavy. That's why I wanted to make this so light. So that's how that works. And then probably in the end, I might also mount two more brackets here to support it from underneath. So I wanted to point those things out because I don't think I mentioned those in previous videos. Going to get paint color for the background today, and then also a couple little supplies for the lighting. I'll be building a light bar with some PVC that's going to sit underneath here and mount in through the top. So I'm going to get those supplies, and that will be next. Stay tuned. Updates coming, y'all. So step two completed, paint inside the box. I went with a very dark navy. It's called Compass Blue. It's a Bear Marquee color from Home Depot. Now the reason why I went with a very dark blue is because I want to be able to manipulate the colors on the inside of the box. Being that I'm going to be using RGB LED lighting, I can manipulate a bunch of different colors to get different results on a darker background. A lot of people will paint these things a lighter teal or aqua color, and you're really sort of stuck with that, especially when the lights are off if you have a lighter color. So I opted to go darker. It turned out really well. It only took me the small sample container, which was like maybe $5. So mission accomplished there. I am looking at some stuff to order here online today. I'm going to be working on the light bar soon, and that'll probably be next step, is I want to get the lighting in before I start fabricating what's going into the box and making decisions on that. So stay tuned for that update. Lighting will be to follow. So I just wanted to get the box back up on the tank after the paint dried to give you an example, and it's really hard to tell because it's so dark in here right now, but it turned out great. It looks, right now I have this like sort of 8-inch long DIY little LED light that has those SMD panels for like cars on it, so it's like somewhere between a warm and a cool white. But that's just up there. It's taped up there right now just to light this up to see, make sure everything lines up. But it's hard to see because it's very dark. But you can see how the corners of the box just sort of fade together and blur together, which is really cool. Also, you can notice why I ended up going with a darker color, because the white you see, when I have an actual bar that goes behind these two overflows, the white that you see actually hitting and lighting up the background, when that's a blue color, you're going to get that awesome sort of ocean light teal blue all the way down to a darker blue, and it's going to gradually fade. The other thing that's cool about the RGB strip is you can dim it. Now I have this light right now on a dimmer, and it's all the way up, so it's really bright. I don't intend to have it that bright. Let me dim it down just to show you a couple different examples. One, let's get it just subtle. And it's real subtle like that. You get that nice just sort of glow. You can already tell just by looking at that what awesome effect it's going to have when there's the right color light on it. But the other thing that's cool about the darker background, if you're a fan of darker backgrounds like I am, like I didn't want to paint this thing teal because I don't want to be stuck with teal. But when you go real subtle, if you take these lights down to almost nothing, you get this very cool slight glow of a very dark, like midnight blue background. It's very cool. Not going to pick it up on video, but yeah, turned out great. I found the LEDs I'm going to order, and they're 1 day, so I'm going to go get the pieces for the bar tonight from Lowe's. A couple of elbows, a piece of PVC, a couple other little knickknacks, and as soon as those LEDs arrive, I'm going to definitely get those up because I don't want to do anything else to this before I get the final lighting up so I can see what it's going to do. And I'm also debating on possibly making it a tiny bit blurrier, just because the light penetration is fine. I think even more blurry might be better depending on the effect I want to go for. So that's it for now. Mission accomplished here. Stay tuned. Looks great.